Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 3rd of April. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, well, Trump really did it. That, I think, was probably the biggest tax rise in US history, and it's on today. I've been mulling over what effect this is likely to have on inflation. It's obviously going to put prices up quite a lot, but equally it's going to be quite aggressively down on economic activity, I think. I don't know. I'm in two minds about it, but obviously prices are going up. I'm not entirely convinced it's going to put up inflation a lot. I think it's going to have a huge impact on the economy, and I suspect it's going to have a huge impact on the market. But that's not all going to be over by Tuesday. This is likely to be something which plays out on the market over a few months. It could be that we'll do it very fast, but not necessarily at all. I think this might happen over quite a while. In the meantime, I'm leaning towards seeing some more downside. We have now made the head and shoulder target, the double top target on ES, and I'm expecting to make that on SPX today. We had already made the target on NQ, but we've got targets some way below on RTY and YM. What I've really got an eye on is I've got this target in the 5100 area, and I'm thinking we may well go down and get that over the next week or two. We will see how that goes. But I think we're down. The market went up quite a bit, like 50 points or something at the start of the announcement yesterday, which surprised me. And then it went down 5% in about 20 minutes, which was really quite impressive. We will see. All right. So YM, I'm expecting to go lower. This is the only one that hasn't made a lower low yet. Dow's been holding up better, really, than most of the others. On DAX, we've got a week 6-minute buy signal fixed. I haven't drawn in the area yet, and we've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. Again, a weak one. So let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Now, on the bigger picture charts, I was saying yesterday that I thought we were forming flags, and also that we had very bullish stats for yesterday. Those delivered, we went up, and we got some much better bear flags, and those bear flags realistically have broken down this morning, and we should see retests of these lows on all of the RTH charts. Could we still have double bottoms here? Yes, we could, but I don't think those are going to play out at this stage. I think we're likely to head lower, and I've really got 5100 area as the next big target area. We saw tests of the daily middle band yesterday, pretty much across the board. Went very slightly over, but visually you can see that was barely over on SPX and on the Qs. We were slightly below. On Dia, I think we were very slightly above. Yeah, it's 3 points above on Dia, and we were slightly below on IWM. In terms of the flags, pretty nice one on SPX here, and we had a pretty decent one on the Qs, and we had a decent one on Dia, and these are all breaking down. So that should deliver an RTH the retests of the lows, and really I'm expecting to see some continuation down from there on what is likely to be a pretty sizable shock to the economy. IWM, the flag wasn't as nice as the others, but still, again, perfectly acceptable. Could we be setting up a better bottoming setup with a retest of the low here and a bounce? Yes, but I'm very skeptical about seeing that bounce. Really, I'm expecting to see some downside here, and then once we get down to the 5100 area, really I'll be looking for a bounce there. All right, DAX. Next, we're seeing some more downside, but not a lot. We've broken down from this double top, and obviously we've got a target here. And Nikkei, again, is below the daily middle band here. Daily lower band is pretty weak. And expecting to see some more downside. Right. In terms of, we've got still, once we make the target on SPX, which I'm expecting to do really at the open or not far afterwards on the pattern there, that leaves us with two short-term patterns to make target on, and they're the Dia and the IWM ones. Now here on the dire one, with targets still quite a long way below, but if we get down to the 5100 area on SPX, then I'm thinking we're probably going to make that target. But to do that, we need to break a couple of support trend lines, and they're both actually pretty nice. There's this one here, which is the main one. I've got that at 402. If we get down to that, then I'll be watching. And I've got another one possibly down at 398. Let's have a look at IWM. IWM, we've got a target below at 182.5, and I've got a pretty decent support trend line here at 192.5. I'll be watching both of those. I'm not assuming they will break. I tend not to assume these things really. Sometimes these things hold unexpectedly, but I'm leaning towards them breaking. We will see how that goes. All right, great. Let's have a look at DX. Now, DX, I was saying that I was expecting this to be pretty negative for DX, and we double bottom failed, and we have gone significantly lower to the 101 area. I'm expecting more downside on this, and I think my concern is not really worrying about a bounce here on the dollar, but I'm thinking when we get down to my target area in 96, 97 area, I'm thinking it may not stop. I think we could see a lot of downside on the dollar coming in the next few months. So we shall see. CB, the flag, this was a peach. I called this before we reached the trend line, and then we broke up, and we've now made target on this. This could go higher. Bonds, I think, are probably going to go a lot lower over the next few months. But in the short term, we're still in rally mode, and we haven't necessarily topped out, but we do have a potential level top here. CL, the CL market did not like the tariffs. And obviously oil's quite strongly linked to economic activity. So we're down $6. And the IHS has failed. I'm expecting to see a retest of this low here at 65, and I've still got penciled in a retest of the main low at 63.57. If we are going to see a significant slowdown in economic activity, which I think is highly likely, then I am wondering whether that 63.57 low might break. It's otherwise I'd be looking really for a double bottom here, but we might find it broke down instead. NG hasn't been as much affected. I'm still liking the upside here, and I've got a target in the 5.75 area. Short term, this looks like a nice bull flag, and I'm wondering whether we're heading back to a retest of this high here at about the 4.94 area. GC, we've seen some nice downside overnight. Now, it may be that this is just a retracement, but we've seen quite a lot of downside. I was wondering, looking at the charts on the bigger picture last night, whether we were setting up for some downside, and we've seen on silver, we've seen a pretty nice move down. Is this a double top here? Not a great one, but arguably yes. And this looks as though this isn't done to the downside, and we don't have any positive divergence yet. Looking at HG, I've been explaining a couple of times that I'm really expecting to see copper go down over the next few months for the same reason as lumber. They're both very economically sensitive. This is not a bad looking head and shoulders here, and it's got a target I haven't marked in yet in about the 465 to 470 area, and realistically that looks like the next target. EUR/USD, we have seen a bomb to the upside. GBP USD heavily to the upside. USD JPY, I was saying that for this IHS to deliver, then of course that would really help a lot if the US dollar was going up, and it was probably going to go down, and this has gone back and headed back to the lows. USD CAD, down. This is all about the dollar just heading down here at the moment. So Australian dollar, hoping we might get a bit more direction here. Actually, this has seemed a little aimless over the last few days, and ends it up anyway. So basically dollar down, and probably going down quite a bit more. KC, still wondering about an ABC, really done very little in recent weeks. SB has broken up from what may well be a bull flag here. If so, then I'd be looking for a retest of this high in the 20.1 area. CC, we've reached a possible. We've obviously made the double bottom target. We've reached a possible IHS neckline, and I'm wondering whether we might see a right shoulder form here. Don't really have an awful lot saying that we'll see more upside here, and we don't have any negative divergence here on the 60-minute either, but I'm wondering about a right shoulder retracement and then possibly another leg up. ZW, I'm still wondering about a double bottom here. Corn, still wondering about a double bottom here on soy. This looks like, well, this is a very possible bear flag triangle forming. So watching that and wondering about this resolving sooner or later into a retest of this low here in the 990 area. On CT, this I drew this as a flag and we've broken down from the flag. I think we're probably going to see a retest this low here at 62.5. Lumber is going lower. Lumber, I think, well, I'd expect this to go quite a bit lower actually. So we could see a significant decline here in lumber. Live cattle, we've made the retest of this high, possible double top here, nothing really compelling in terms of reversal or divergence, and still leaning towards seeing a retest of this low here on the on the lean hogs chart. Okay, great. Let's have a look at questions. Okay, no questions. Right, I'm leaning towards seeing more downside here, and what I would like to see is I would like to see a leg down to 5100 on SPX. And I mentioned this as the possible head and shoulder neckline, and I really, really like it as the next target. So let's see how it goes. I'm assuming nothing here. I'm not assuming that the tariffs won't get half lifted at any moment. I'm not assuming that. Well, it's important. It's important to keep an open mind when you get into a situation like this. But I have to say, I've got a preferred path, and that preferred path takes us next on SPX down to the 5100 area to test the big support level there and to set up potentially a decent rally. That's what I'd like to see happen over the next few days. We will see how it goes. All right, brilliant. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. What an amazingly interesting year it is being so far. It's likely to continue. No sign of that stopping. All right, cheers, guys. Catch you later.